Come out firing, come out flying.
You got to get on these guys early. Let them know who's in charge of the game and execute.
5 players that have now over 30 points on your team already halfway through the season.
You set the standard. You don't wait on anybody else.
All gas, no brakes.
Virginia Tech has never won 8 in a row in program history.
4 seconds, 3 seconds, and the Hokies will walk out of New Jersey on a 7-game win streak.
So let's talk kind of about Denison for them. 17-3 this weekend.
Kazai driving in. They score! The Bronx fall 10-3 to the Virginia Tech Hokies.
He's shooting, he scores! Dynamic duo straight again. And it goes in!
Taken out. That one fired and they scored.
His shot score! Dave Mike Cook plays the
Got on the wraparound and he scores!
Thank you for joining us here on the Virginia Tech Hockey Network. It's the Hokies and the Tar Heels here for Game 2 at the Lancerlot Sports Complex. The Hokies took last night's game with an overtime victory thanks to Ethan Garlock, who had a goal about 2 minutes into the extra frame. Virginia Tech was also propelled forward by 2 goals from J.H. Lagas and 1 from Cam Kazai. Can UNC break their 5-game losing streak tonight with a new goaltender, their second goalie, Ander Andreev, or will the Hokies get on their first winning streak of the season with a pair of wins this weekend? Ladies and gentlemen, welcome into the Virginia Tech Hockey Network. It's Kyle and Finn here to lead you all through the action. Now, Finn, Cam Kazai went down with injury last night. They're expecting him back in potentially next week or 2 weeks. How has that affected the lineup here tonight?
Oh, the lineup's changed a lot. A few people moved up. Gavin Nowell moved up into that first position, or that first line. And then you had some other changes towards the fourth line as well. Moving people around, definitely going to get a little bit of a different game here, but it will be kind of interesting to see how Gavin Nowell does with that first line. That first line, of course, being very strong last night as well. And Gavin Nowell already starting up on a hot streak as well, getting as many goals as he can. It's going to be pretty fun to see how well they can kind of click together, how that older talent can really build with Gavin Nowell.
And speaking about the first line, they've been incredibly successful against UNC in the past, especially against Andreev last season. The Hokies saw him twice last year. I believe he let in 10 goals across the 2 games. So could be some big things for that front line again here tonight.
Oh, yeah. I remember watching the game last year, especially the outdoor game as well, and it seemed like Paduzzi, Garlock, and of course Kazai, they just knew where to shoot on Andreev. Everything that they shot seemed to go in, and they had some really good looks as well. So it will be very interesting to see how much of that memory kind of comes back to them. It'll be interesting to see if Andreev plays better too, because he knows that these people are going to be shooting where I'm weaker. So maybe he's gotten a little bit better on that as well during the offseason.
And one thing I noticed out of UNC last night, they were a lot more physical than they normally have been as a group. They don't take a lot of penalties. But last night, not that there was a lot of penalties, but significantly more than most UNC games. It was a little bit chippy in the first and the third period. I think that might carry over into tonight as well.
Oh, I 100% agree. I think they normally get around average of five penalties every game, and so seeing a lot more last night was definitely interesting. I mean, we were talking about it on the broadcast. We were eating our words a little bit with how much they started kind of staying in the box as much as possible, but I think a lot of that kind of physicality will carry back over. I think Tech's going to stay a little bit more disciplined, but we might see some tempers flare just because of Kazai, but other than that, I think UNC is going to get aggressive as they were towards the end of that third period.
Well, you heard it here first. Potentially an aggressive game coming up here on the Virginia Tech Hockey Network. We'll take a break for a few minutes, and then we'll come back for lineups and puck drop. Welcome into the Virginia Tech Hockey Network. It's game 2 of a series between the Hokies and the Tar Heels. Virginia Tech took last night's game in overtime. Thanks to Ethan Garlock, he got ahead and jammed it in for the 4-3 victory. UNC with a big comeback in the third period. They put in a few and got things tied up. It wasn't looking like it'd go their way for quite a while there in that final frame, but able to get things up to 3 apiece and push it into overtime. They had a couple of good looks, but just couldn't quite get it in.
Yeah, in overtime they had a really solid chance on Key. He came up with a good save, and the defense played really well, able to get the puck over to Garlock, and Garlock had a 1-on-0 opportunity against Brown, and was able to dump it in top shelf.
We talked about it a little bit during the pregame, but some line swaps for both sides, trying to change things up ahead of today's game. Now, UNC, presumably the mindset being change it up a little bit more, try to get a little bit more scoring and get the better of the Hokies, but Virginia Tech swapping things up without Cam Kazai in the lineup today. He did go down with injury last night, did not return. We talked to Coach earlier before the game. He said he expects Kazai to be back in a couple of weeks, potentially next week if everything goes as planned, but just playing it safe today.
Yeah, and we hope that he has a fast recovery, especially as for Hokie fans as well, as that'll keep them scoring a lot.
O'Shaughnessy and Stewart on the opening faceoff. UNC will take it. It's Will Smith up the right side, gives it off to Kalber, and shot there, missed wide right into the glass. UNC settling in the offense here early. Another shot from Smith, as that one's deflected off the pads by Key. Into the corner, Tyler Gordon looking to clear and gets it across the blue line. Smith back to recover. UNC will now have to get back on sides.
Yeah, Kalber is the switch. They switched out him for Zakowski. Both of them switched around, so that'll be interesting to see how that plays out. Zakowski more of a assist man, as Kalber has a little bit more shots on goal.
He's got 5 assists already this season, Zakowski does. Now it's J.H. Lagas pushing up the side, and that'll be an icing. Was looking for a teammate there at the blue line, but couldn't quite land the pass. But Lagas, 2 goals last night.
Yeah, it was an incredible effort from him. It's great to see him scoring some more, and you can already tell that he's not done yet.
Defensive Player of the Year in the ACHA last season. The Hokies had 2 honored in that ceremony. Ma rips one from up top. That's wide left. And UNC looking for a pass in front of the crease. Can't quite land it. It deflects into the corner. Ma will keep it in, but the Hokies recover. McLeod on the drop and kicks it up to Ethan Garlock. Now UNC will dump and look for the recovery, but the Hokies are back too quickly. About a minute and a half through the first period so far. We're pinned behind the Hokies goal. Tucker Forrest in the net for Virginia Tech. On the other side, it's Ander Andreev as the Hokies looking for an opportunity. Gavin now leaves one back for his teammate, but that shot awry from J.H. Lagas. Lagas rips another one. Andreev covers it up.
That comes off of Lagas. Getting thrown into the boards a little bit hard. He still was able to get up fast and get that shot on net. Decently good save for Andreev there. He just moved over to the corner, was able to block it with his chest, and able to hang on to it.
An early power play for the Hokies. Gingras in the box for the Tar Heels. We'll get a face-off on the far side. And Teo Lanigan with the puck. He'll dump it down low to Matt Tulo. Gets knocked off his feet, and UNC looking to clear. Just kept in there by Max Sullivan in the second pairing for Virginia Tech tonight. Virginia Tech in the near side corner. Tied up a little bit, and that one knocked up into the netting nearly 30 seconds through the power play.
Yeah, we talked about it a little bit at the beginning in the intro, but UNC, not a very penalty-high team, but it seems like they've started off similarly to how they started off last night. Although last night they did have a goal in the first 2 minutes.
Now wins the faceoff for Virginia Tech, but quickly UNC with an opportunity. Peduzzi with a nice defensive poke, gets it into the corner. Lagas recovers. Now dancing with one on him. Lagas will leave it off to Peduzzi, and now pushed up to Ewan Andrew on the far side. He'll get knocked up against the boards and just cleared by the Tar Heels. Virginia Tech recovering as Lagas dumps it around the boards. O'Shaughnessy tries to bat it out, can't quite get the best of it. And now it's cleared by the Tar Heels. About a minute through the power play. That one ripped straight to Tucker Forrest, and he'll send it off to Lagas to keep the push moving.
Great glove catch there. Easy for him to do that. Good hand-eye coordination for that, and was able to play it up so that they could get a little bit of a fast break there, but it'll go back.
Knocked away, and Hilton will rip one. That goes into the glass and deflected into the netting. 39 seconds remaining for Gingras in the powder blue sin bin. Just through about 3 minutes here in the first period.
Tucker already looks solid. I think he sometimes he shows up a little nervous. That's just him being a sophomore and everything, but he looks ready tonight.
Stewart takes the face off over O'Shaughnessy and recovered back by Lanigan. Hokies with 30 seconds left with the man advantage. O'Shaughnessy knocks it away to his teammate, and quickly Stewart will deflect it back to DeVivo. Andreev bats it around the boards for his teammate. The Hokies trying to keep it in. Nearly a shot opportunity there for Tyler Gordon, but knocked off his feet, and Forrest will leave it for Max Sullivan. 5 seconds remaining with the extra man. Dumped in by Stewart, and we'll be back to even strength. Gingras out of the box right at the blue line, just tips it across as Stewart dumps it right back in and around. Andreev for his teammate. Now up the near side. Just got over the glove of Smith, and Kellogg tried to clear it through. Great defensive play by Drew Takray. Would have been a nice open look for the Tar Heels, but deflected away as Takray rips this one. Knocked off the glove of Andreev and into the corner.
Solid save. Got the hands up, able to block that really well.
Zukowski was looking for one, gets it up to his teammate, and Tucker Forrest able to deliver, shifting to his right and covers that one up here at 15:27.
I mean, that was beautiful. Able to go from post to post there, catching it right in his chest. That was really smart play by him. That would have been a fairly strong goal from them, especially being 5 minutes in. Leading off the scoring definitely can change a tide of a game, especially in a revenge game as well.
Virginia Tech took both games last season against the Tar Heels, one of them the outdoor game, as that one's ripped off of Forrest and up into the netting. Just a few seconds elapsed after the face-off.
That one almost went over the netting, too. That had a lot of power to it, a lot of speed.
Another face-off in the far circle. Sangster knocks it into the corner as the Hokies retrieve. Now they're on the push. Peduzzi rips one himself. Andreev knocked it up, and no one able to scrap up the rebound. UNC dumping across, and that one a little too much airtime off the glass behind their own bench.
Yeah, I'm worried for the coaching staff back there. They don't get helmets here in hockey, and they just got to be wary of those flying pucks.
UNC's got the powder blues with the navy blue bottoms, and the Hokies running white on maroon. Face off in the near side. Lanigan tries to keep it in, whiffs once, recovers. Looking for his teammate in the corner. Austin Hearn down there, one stick flying as that one's cleared by UNC and recovered by Sullivan.
Impressive how Lanigan is able to keep that puck on the tape for so long.
Lanigan ripped from just beyond the blue line as Andreev deflects it away. He's left a lot of rebounds so far this game. Could come back to bite the Tar Heels if the Hokies are able to capitalize, but so far solid defense from UNC in blue, able to recover and get that puck clear effectively.
That's always a tough thing for goalies is you can be really good at blocking a lot of the shots, but you also have to remember that if that puck rebounds up front and there you have someone at the net, it can be an easy rebound goal. And we saw a couple of those last night as well.
Face off in the near circle and UNC working around their goal and up the far side. They'll dump it back behind the boards and just cleared out by the Hokies. Now Austin Hearn looks to go between the legs, can't quite get it through. It's poked away by the stick of Smith. Back behind the net, McLeod. Now up the near side, it's Tulo pushing across. Austin Hearn in the far side corner, and that one's ripped just a little bit wide. Andreev couldn't get a piece of it. Back behind the net as the Tar Heels are looking to clear on the far side. One knocked on his feet, and Lagas dumps it in from center ice. Now O'Shaughnessy, took out the ref. And back behind the net, it's Andreev. He'll leave it for a teammate. UNC now dumps it across. Hustling back, it's Kellogg. Recovers, circles the net. Looks for Campbell up top. Can't quite land the pass as UNC recovers. Thanks to Cam Boge. That one rings off the metal. Lagas now looks to clear, and UNC recovers at center ice. They'll push it right back down. And an icing for the Tar Heels will bring it back to the left side.
I'm sure the ref likes a little bit of a break there, as that was an unfortunate series of events. He was able to just go right under and not get too banged up after that, but he's got a little bit of snow on the back of his pants, so. Forrest with a good stop there. I think he got a little bit of a piece of that before it ended up hitting the pipe. A good save overall.
O'Shaughnessy and Stewart back for another face-off. This one lost momentarily, and Lanigan can't quite keep it in across the blue line. Now UNC looking to push. Smith has it pickpocketed, but DeVivo and Tyler Gordon get called for the offsides.
Yeah, that was very, very close, but Tyler Gordon just has to get all the way on to the neutral ice before he can go onside, and sometimes that timing can be very difficult, especially in the heat of the game.
Would have been a great opportunity for Virginia Tech had they kept everything clear. As Sullivan dumps this one in, looked back momentarily for a line, but the Hokies will keep the same legs in. Now UNC up the far side. Will Smith. And caught up behind the net.
Lanigan with a good steal there. Playing really well with that stick. Able to get it in and break up that play.
Deflected by Smith and then deflected by Lanigan. Now we're up at center ice, dumped in. And Sullivan back to retrieve for the Hokies. Kicks it around the boards to DeVivo. Looks to push the pace to Peduzzi, but knocked away by Grady. Sullivan pauses behind the net momentarily. A few teammates let it through. Peduzzi takes over and retreats. Virginia Tech looking to set up a play here. They kick it up to Garlock, just taps it across, but quickly knocked away by the Tar Heels. A lot of changes of possession here lately as Forrest tries to recover, can't quite get it cleanly. Gingras looking to keep it in, but the Hokies now pushing the pace. Peduzzi takes it across. Garlock just kept it on sides as Andreev swallows that one.
That was a good save by Andreev. Also some really good work with the picks in that period, especially right here at neutral ice. A lot of players getting in the way of other players legally without calling interference, but just able to break up so that you have that line, that hole, which is often called in football for the quarterback or the person with the ball to just run through.
Last 5 minutes or so, no one's really had possession for any extended period of time, just side to side, side to side. As Austin Hearn looks to keep it in, Drew to Cray with the backhand and commotion in front of the net. Andreev knocks it back into the boards. And UNC able to get that puck back to neutral ice. Dumped it into Glonick in the near side corner, and now a battle along the boards, dumped back in by Pye. Glonick able to get past to Cray and in front of the net. A real early whistle there.
It's
a penalty.
I believe the penalty being called is going to be another hooking call. Yep, and that will be a hooking call. Can't get that stick around with the blade itself and pull someone down. That's what happened in the back right corner. 2 penalties already for UNC. Starting again, similarly, getting the same penalties, making the same mistakes as before.
Defenseman Cam Glonick into the box for 2 minutes for the Tar Heels. The Hokies with another man advantage here tonight. Garlock into the far corner, pinned up against the boards, and Tar Heels able to free it. Peduzzi swings it to Lagas, knocked off the stick of Smith, and UNC will knock that one all the way back. Already through 30 seconds of Glonick's penalty. Now Peduzzi up the near side. Swings around. Lagas can't quite handle the pass and dumps it back behind the net. It's swung around and cleared. No one was there to recover. Peduzzi takes it across. Settling in, and now is knocked way off his feet. Lagas dumped it back in. The Hokies will get back on sides. 1 minute remaining for Glonick in the box, as Tucker Forrest will deflect that one for his teammate. Lagas hesitates behind the net and pushes up to the left side momentarily, hesitates and kicks it to Vivo. Now Tulo. Back to Lanigan, who's knocked up against the boards. To Vivo and Tulo there to recover the puck with one Tar Heel. Smith. A lot of passing for the Hokies. 25 seconds remaining on the power play. Austin Hearn knocked away a little bit. Now rips one near side, deflected off the pads of Andreev, and Sullivan will keep it in at the blue line. DeVivo down low, looks for Tulo right in front of the crease. I think they blew the whistle before that one went through.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to actually end up calling that as a goal. That's unfortunate. A little bit of a premature call there for the whistle. Really good plays by the Hokies there. I felt like that was super settled. Like you said, we had about 5 minutes where no one seemed to be in good possession during that power play. That was one of the best power play opportunities that I think the Hokies have had.
Tulo was right in front of the net. Knocked that one through, but the whistle a bit too early. A massive hit there in the far corner. That was Austin Hearn taken down for the Hokies. Now both teams back to full strength, as Tulo will have a great opportunity. One to his backside, rips that one, but just wide to the left. Now Tulo looks for the recovery, knocked away once again by Andreev.
DeVivo is definitely looking to score some points, as he's had a little bit of a struggle last night. He's definitely playing with some fire.
He had a couple great opportunities, but Coach Mullen mentioned he thinks it's just one of those things where once you get the first one, it'll just start cascading through. That's been his biggest point about a lot of the rookies, is he knows how much potential that they have and how good they are at scoring, both with the goals and the assists. But sometimes you just got to see the first one go through.
Exactly, and you can really see that with how Coach is making those lineups. A lot of freshmen kind of getting their nice chances, playing with some older people as well to give them more opportunities.
Into the far corner. Zajic swings it around. Now at the far side, they'll tip it across, recovered by Takray. Takes it across the blue line. He's got teammates with him. Swings it through, and a shot there by D'Antona, who knocks it through.
A little bit of some extracurriculars there after the goal is scored. Poked right through the 5-hole there. That's always the scrappy goals that you don't really practice in practice at all. Coaches don't really tell you, hey, you should be going for this, but it is something that when it happens, it's always good to see for your team. Speaking of good things to see, if you like what you're watching right now and you would like to sponsor us, we would love to have you for our support. Go ahead and send us a message on the Virginia Tech Hockey Network on Instagram, or you can talk to any of the off-ice staff at the game. Thank you so much for your support.
Correction on the goal. It was not D'Antona, it was Marshall Campbell with the goal. A lot of Tech jerseys right in front of the net on that one. Now to Cray, hustling back to beat out O'Shaughnessy. It's pushed around a little bit, looking for the recovery. He's got a teammate there as well, Daniel Kauber, getting mixed in. Peduzzi.
Little locked up, big hit. And a little bit of a yard sale there. Half a stick gets broken.
Gavin now looking for Garlock, now feeds to Peduzzi, and that one's knocked away. Another rip deflected by Andreev off the blockers. Lanigan recovers at center ice. We've got 5.5 remaining here in the first. O'Shaughnessy tied up with Tyler Gordon right in front of the scorers. It's knocked away as UNC will settle in. 1-0 game, Hokies with the lead thanks to Marshall Campbell, his first goal of the season.
Correct me if I'm wrong, is this his first game or second game? I believe it might be his first game in, or I think he might have played against Liberty when we were away. Impressive for him, coming right onto the ice, fourth line, getting a goal there early in the late in the first period.
Coach Mullen mentioned before the game, he said, I think Marshall's really hungry tonight, looking to get some points on the board to start the season. Stewart to Gordon. That one deflected away.
That's what that third line is always looking for. Passing as much as possible, getting to Vivo, getting Gordon, getting Tulo the puck as much as possible.
Lagos will recover back and now dumped in by Gordon. That one chipped up. Moore on the recovery. UNC dancing back behind.
Almost got a good look like they had the other night with a little bit of a pass out front behind the net.
Hearn feeds up to Tulo, looking back to Hearn. No opportunity there. The Hokies swinging around the far side. Now dumped back in behind the net. Austin Hearn swings it up to the blue line, kept in by Lagos. He'll feed it close to the net. Tulo nearly had the opportunity. Stick saved by Andreev. Ewan Andrew hustling into the corner. Battling there with Ma. Gingras now behind his own net. Looking to get that out. Some Hokies right in there, mixed in. Lagos tried to rip one through, but knocked away. Too many blue jerseys in the way of these shots. Ewan Andrew nearly around the right leg of Andreev, and the Hokies settling back in with just about 3 minutes left in the first.
Yeah, and I believe Hilton's going to try and get off here, as I don't think he liked where that puck hit him.
Tough one for Tucker Forrest. Got chipped up, able to make the recovery with the glove save. 3:07 remaining in the first. Hokies still holding on to the 1-0 lead. get a face-off in the near circle. It's Peduzzi and Kauber. UNC knocks it back to Pye. Shot from the far side, deflected away. Settling in. Now Pye, he'll swing it around the boards, looking for Kauber. Hokies able to deflect it away. It's a 2-on-2. Now hustling up for it. Looks to beat out Pye as it's swung around. Kept in by McLeod, and UNC now almost clears, but Peduzzi chips it up in front of the net. Now was looking for the baseball shot, but couldn't get anything as McLeod's knocked down. Drew to Cray with the 1-on-2. A great opportunity for the Tar Heels, just knocked away. O'Shaughnessy recovers, dances around now and tries to feed his teammate in front of the net, and they score. The Tar Heels tie it up at 2:20 off of a great dance and a nice feed.
Yeah, that was a good play. Again, similarly to the other goal that the Hokies actually put in on the other side of the ice, there's a little bit of some stuff in between and out front of the net. Always hard to stop that as goalies.
Patrick O'Shaughnessy with the big feed to Daniel Kauber, who had the finish. 1-1 game with just a couple minutes remaining in the first period. That is a big one for the Tar Heels.
Yeah, and Kauber was one of the goal scorers of last night as well. So you've definitely seen him get a little bit into the groove, get used, and he definitely sees this Hokies team a little bit better.
Gingras dumped it in, and Virginia Tech recovers. It's Max Sullivan to swing it around. D'Antona hustling over, and now along the near side boards, it's Valent along with Sullivan. Gingras, near side boards, tied up with the ref momentarily. Now lands a big hit in the corner.
Another stick on the ice.
Campbell gives it to Lagas. Looks up for a teammate, and it's knocked across. Waved off. Kicked up right to the blue line. Defenders in the way. Kellogg able to help out along with Tulo. Virginia Tech now clears it out to center ice. Hearn not able to handle the pass here with 1 minute remaining, and recovered back by Lagas for the Hokies. Kicked it up and across, and UNC will recover. Commotion in front of their own net as Ewan Andrew keeps it in. Knocked off of his feet by Sangster. And center ice here with 40 seconds remaining. Both teams going side to side. No one able to retain possession. Kauber tied up off the feed from O'Shaughnessy, was able to dance around a few defenders as Tucker Forrest with the glove save. Just under 30 seconds remaining in the first.
Just like hockey, where you have a bunch of breaks in between the powerful, fun moments, life also has those breaks. My favorite thing to do when I have those breaks is listen to a nice podcast, and my favorite one as of late has been the Gobbler Connect podcast. The Gobbler Effect podcast here on the Virginia Tech Hockey Network. You can sit down with Chris Pierce and head coach Joey Mullen to chat all things Hokie hockey, with special guests every single week. Catch it all on the Gobbler Effect on the VTHN Hockey Network. Hopefully they don't talk about that goal.
Kauber with another one. 2 goals tonight right off the faceoff. He was in the perfect position and just knocked it through into the right side of the goal, just past the left side of Tucker Forrest. Now UNC with the 2-1 lead. Daniel Kauber, big 2 goals tonight. He's had a great weekend series so far. O'Shaughnessy with another assist as well. That's 2 for him tonight. Stewart looks to feed in front of the net, and Tyler Gordon knocked it through. Oh, we've got commotion in front. Fists are flying. Oh, there's going to be a few penalties here. Tyler Gordon's down. There's a Tar Heel on top of him. Haven't caught a number quite yet. That's O'Shaughnessy. The captain just went right for Gordon.
O'Shaughnessy went, yeah.
Clearly there were words being exchanged that whole time.
Like it just happened in a moment. O'Shaughnessy just rushed straight forward, cross-checked right to the chest, and went down.
So O'Shaughnessy's in the box right now for the Tar Heels. They've got Moore and Tyler Gordon in the box for the Hokies. And we've got 9.6 seconds left to play in the first.
A little unsure of why we have Gordon in the box, as he seemed to be the victim of that play, but the refs probably have some way to explain it. Both teams missing out on some really strong players there. I was about to talk about Kalber as he got moved up in place of Zukowski. It seems like him and O'Shaughnessy have clicked. That line might stay for a couple more games as they seem to be playing really well, but we might see some changes back, especially if O'Shaughnessy is able to play for a little bit of some time tonight.
Clearly those two have just been in perfect sync so far tonight. They've got O'Shaughnessy out of the box. I don't think that's a good sign for the Tar Heels. It depends on if they let him back in or not.
Yeah, and he's skating off, and I think the ref's telling him that you just can't take your whole stick and lunge all the way out to hit a guy. It's dangerous for the players, and it's also not something you want to be teaching all these young fans out here tonight in Lancerlot.
O'Shaughnessy's back to the locker room, so it looks like he'll be getting a game misconduct, most likely. Still Moore and Tyler Gordon in the box for the Hokies.
Two of them might be getting a 2-minute minor for roughing, maybe one with a 5, one with a 2, but I think they'll definitely have a 5-minute major for the Tar Heels. Technically still going on the power play, however, as it will be 4-on-3 if these two penalties from the box are kept or not shared. As the PA plays the Jeopardy theme. Still a little bit of a wait.
Thought we were almost there, but still some explanations to do.
Let's talk about that goal, however, that got put in there. I mean, it seemed like every time that the Tar Heels have scored one, the Hokies have come right back to show them, hey, we're still in this. We're tied. We're going to keep going. 9 seconds left on the clock. Hokies have done it before where they've scored with very few on the clock left. Don't think anything's going to come from this, as we will get some penalties. It is 2 minutes for both of the two in the Hokies box, and then 5-minute major for the Tar Heels.
It's being served by Bishop, O'Shaughnessy's penalty. Lanigan pushes it up, Lagas dumps it in, and that should run out the clock of the first period. The Hokies tie it up with less than 10 seconds remaining at 2 apiece. UNC will have a brief power play to begin the second period. A feisty game so far, and surely tempers will only get more heated from here. Join us back in a few minutes for the second period here on the Virginia Tech Hockey Network. Welcome back to the Virginia Tech Hockey Network. Heated end to the first period. Tyler Gordon knocked one in, and a little brawl with Patrick O'Shaughnessy, who got a game misconduct from that fight. His penalty is being served by Bishop in the box, and meanwhile Virginia Tech has 2 over into the box as well. Moore and Tyler Gordon were sent there, so a little bit of a tough situation for the Hokies in a 4-on-3 penalty kill, opening up the period after a goal, and I feel like you don't really see too many 4-on-3 penalty kills when the other team got a game misconduct, but a little bit of a funky situation.
Yeah, after re-watching it during the break, it seemed like something probably was said. That's probably why Tyler Gordon got the game misconduct, or not the game misconduct, the unsportsmanlike. Gets thrown down to the ice. Moore comes over just to help out his teammate, which honestly is what they should have done as the Hokies win the faceoff. Peduzzi.
UNC back in their own zone. They'll push it up through center ice and across the right side. Once again, it's a 4-on-3. It's Zidkowski on the near side, swings it across. Smith hesitated, dumped it down low. Now up top to Hilton. Rips one wide to the left and recovered by the Tar Heels. Hilton now over to Smith. Back to Hilton. Running a sort of 4-corner situation here as Hilton hesitates for a moment, now in the bottom. Looked for Smith on the opposite side, but that one knocked away by the Hokies. Peduzzi will take it across himself, rip a shot, knocked up into the near side corner. UNC now on the push. Near side, it's Zidkowski. Tries to dance around Peduzzi and Lagas, but has it poked away and back out to the neutral zone. We've got 45 seconds left for everybody in the box. So shortly we'll be back to full strength. It's Zidkowski takes it across. Now Hilton. They swing it wide. Now Hilton up at the point. Rips one to the left. Virginia Tech will dump it all the way around. And Andreev leaves it off for a teammate. Zajic, near side, takes it across. Had one streaking through the center, but didn't look to make the pass. Gingras over to Ma. Now back over to Zajic. Back up top, Ma. Ripped into the glove of Tucker Forrest, and Virginia Tech back to full power. Out comes Tyler Gordon and Moore.
Really good stop there by Forrest. Playing really, really well. You could see a really solid zone defense from the Hokies there. And now that they're going in 5-on-4 for 3 minutes left, let's see what they can cook up here.
Virginia Tech settling in for the push. Sullivan held off for a moment, now swings it to Lanigan. They look over for Tulo. Knocked away and taken across into the zone by DeVivo. It's back to Hearn. Kicks it down low to DeVivo. Lanigan swings it to Hearn. Up top to Sullivan. Rips one through, and that one deflected into the near side corner by Andreev.
Tulo almost got a piece of that, which would have been a really good moment for him.
Sullivan at the point, rebound. Tulo looking to knock it through, and 2 saves by Andreev. He left the rebound for Matt Tulo, one of the Hokies captains, and just couldn't quite get it through. Lanigan knocked one off the blockers of Andreev. Now it's DeVivo back behind the net. Up top to Hearn, back to DeVivo. He was looking for the center, but couldn't get anything there. Now Hearn tripped up momentarily and just cleared by the Tar Heels. The Hokies will recover at center ice. They dump it in and quickly swung back. Now Grady with a bunch of defenders in the way. Forrest the rebound and recovered by DeVivo. Spins around, poked away by UNC. They didn't have anyone there, and Virginia Tech recovers once again. Sullivan behind the goal line and leaves it back for Lagas. The Hokies will settle in with 1:20 left on the man advantage.
Really good power play effort by the Hokies here. You saw a little bit more of that 1-2-2 or 3-2-2 or 3-2 position there. Sometimes a lot of teams have either a 2-2 and then they have someone towards the center to kind of rebound, but the Hokies like to pass it around and get more of those shots up at the blue line.
Lagas had it poked away, and now the Tar Heels will kill off a few more seconds. They dump it in behind the goal and knocked away. It's Ethan Garlock looking for Lagas, but once again poked away by a blue jersey. Gavin now recovers in the near side corner, looks for Peduzzi. Poked away, and the Hokies recover once again. Now over to Lagas, and now Peduzzi near side. He's got two in his way, and a few streaking Virginia Tech players, but just can't quite get it through. And now Lagas looks for Now, who dumps it in.
10 seconds left on the penalty for UNC.
And that should just about kill it off. UNC with a nice clear, and they defend with a few minutes with the man down. To Cray, gives it to Garlock, takes it across. He was looking for Ewan Andrew, couldn't quite land the pass. Now to Cray, sent into his own boards, looked for the hit, but didn't land against Zitkowski. Far side corner, Kellogg has Glonick pinned up against the boards and poked away. Ewan Andrew looks to clear, knocks it off the glass, and that's all the way back for a Virginia Tech icing. We'll bring it back to the left side for a face-off.
Starting off very interestingly, of course, having the man down for Virginia Tech and then a man up for Virginia Tech, back and forth. Both teams had a fairly solid penalty kill there. Both of them able to play a really good zone defense, get sticks in between lanes, and able to disrupt a lot of plays.
Far side circle. It's now in Zitkowski. UNC just has it knocked away across the line. Smith back to recover. Now looks to take it away as Zitkowski dumps it over and around. Tucker Forrest will knock it back behind him and recovered by Kellogg. Kellogg with a pair of defenders. Tries to get it through and can't quite do so. Now Tucker Forrest has to defend a wraparound. They hold off for a moment, and Virginia Tech with a bit of possession now as Garlock dumps it over and across. Took a big hit there from Will Hilton. Near side, the Hokies can't keep it in. Hu and Gringus. Now UNC, ooh, big hit from Kellogg. Believe they're gonna give him a penalty.
Yeah, probably going to be a tripping there. I doubt it will be too much. I think he just got his stick up in the skates and fell down.
2-2 game, and now UNC with the advantage. They'll run to Gingras for the near side face-off. Virginia Tech running with Hearn in the circle, and UNC comes up with it. Ma kept it in and can't quite keep it in the second time. Austin Hearn battling there as the Hokies push it all the way across. That one rebounds off the back of the net and recovered by the Tar Heels.
Correction for that penalty, it is a holding instead of a tripping.
Gingras dancing around, goes around the goal, keeps it to himself, now up to Ma. Ma far side, and back to Ma at the point. Near side, Gingras ripped one top shelf and knocked away by Tucker Forrest. And gloves the second shot on the rebound here at 13:05. A minute 17 remaining on the penalty for Kellogg.
The Tar Heels are showing what I was talking about earlier, where their power play has the two kind of around, the two deep, and then you also have that one in the center. We're seeing a lot more of like the tip goals going towards there, a lot more shots from the blue line, trying to get it at least on the net with a rebound. But Tucker's been really good off the rebound.
So far for the Tar Heels, it's been all Daniel Kalber. 2 goals tonight, both assisted by Patrick O'Shaughnessy. O'Shaughnessy with the game misconduct right at the end of the first period, though. And UNC on the power play, just under a minute left. Hilton not able to keep it in at the blue line. Tyler Gordon over there with him. Now Smith leaves it off for Smith. And UNC will swing it around the boards. Zajic dumped it down low to one of the Smiths, and Moore looking to defend. A loose puck in front of the net. UNC recovers, but too many Hokies defenders in the way. Near side, Hilton ripped into traffic, and his own man knocks it down in front, looking for the deflection. Andreev will leave it off for Zajic behind his own net. 15 seconds remaining for Kellogg in the box.
It's always the harder part of having someone down there at the net is you normally have a defender on him, especially when it's 5-on-5. Then you also have the issue of if your teammate's in the way, sometimes those shots get blocked by them. A little bit of a double-edged sword there. But it does make it harder for those goalies to actually save those if they are tipped around, if they even go off a leg, a skate, as long as it's not a kicking motion, it's always a hard goal to stop.
Peduzzi takes the face-off for the Hokies against Sangster. And Virginia Tech looks to swing it around. Recovered by the Tar Heels, and then back to the stick of Peduzzi. Now UNC just able to clear it. Sangster ripped and deflected by Forrest into the far side corner. Ma and Tecray battling there for it. Virginia Tech looks up to clear. Zajic keeps it in momentarily and knocked away by Garlock into center ice. Tecray racing forward on the far side. He's got help in front of the net, takes it himself. Garlock looked for the deflection, and a loose puck still has Virginia Tech's battling down low. Now tried to keep it in and finally cleared by the Tar Heels. Tecray once again pushing the pace, stumps it in behind, and goes off for a swap. In comes Max Sullivan.
Those deflections can be very, very dangerous for a team, as Forrest, they would have blocked that one without a deflection. It can be good to block them, but again, Andreev showing a little bit of the fact that he hasn't played as many games as Brown has. Brown played a solid game last night. Andreev has played, I believe, only 2 games. So you can see a little bit of that, not inexperience, but a little bit of that time where he hasn't been able to settle into the position as much as Brown has.
He did get some playing time last year. There was a stint where I believe Brown was injured as DeVivo rips that one and knocked into the far corner by Andreev. Sullivan looks to dump it in and kept in the neutral zone by Gringus. Quickly knocked away by the Hokies. Tyler Gordon into the corner. Battling there with Camboge, and they look for the cross to Stewart. That one ripped by Sullivan and deflected away by 3 UNC defenders. Now across in the far circle, Stewart ripped once again.
Strong look there. A nice skip pass all the way across the middle of that defensive zone.
UNC able to knock it out here at the midpoint of the second period. It's Camboge back to recover the puck. Sends it back behind the goal to his teammate, and now UNC will dump it up the right side, recovered by Lagas for the Hokies. Quickly pushing up to Austin Hearn. Tips it in and around Ewan Andrew, looking to knock it back from behind the goal and looking for a teammate, but nobody was there. Now UNC around through the far circle and over to Grady, loses his footing right in front of us, and now into the near corner. That one ripped off the boards. Kept in by the Tar Heels, and the Hokies push it up into the neutral zone. UNC hesitates for a moment to get back on sides, and the Hokies knock it right back across the red line. Ewan Andrew looking to take it across. Battle in front. Bishop loses it to Hearn. Sends it around the boards, and the Hokies looking to settle in here. Andreev swings it to the near side and kept in by Austin Hearn. Ewan Andrew looks for the pass in front of the net, but nobody's there. Too low, far side. Pushed up against the boards for a moment off the skates of Andrew and knocked back into center ice.
Murphy and Lagus look like they've been playing for a lot longer than you would actually think. Is Murphy McLeod, he's a freshman, and he's been playing really solid. He had a save last night as well, which was very impressive. The defense has been playing really good for the Hokies.
Hearn battling down low. D'Antona mixed in as well, back to Hearn. Looks to the center for Campbell, but knocked away by the Tar Heels. Now looking to take advantage of a push. Smith was looking for his teammate, but knocked away by Forrest. Virginia Tech kicks it up to Campbell. Boots it across, hustling down. It's D'Antona with the one-on-one, and they waved it off.
It just hit the post, just barely hitting that edge of the post. The puck has to fully cross the line, and that is where you want those plays back, as he basically dangled the goalie up in front of the net and just barely lost it. So I believe there's going to be a call here on one of the Hokies.
Justin D'Antona had a great shot, just barely off the metal. I want to say that puck partially crossed the line.
Yeah, unfortunately, if we had top-down cameras on these nets like the NHL does, you could see, the refs could take a second to look at it, see if the puck fully crossed the line, because that's what actually matters. But because we don't have those, we're not the NHL. It's unfortunate that that goal kind of goes away. It will be a push from behind for Campbell.
Power play for the Tar Heels as they settle in. Ma up at the point, dumps one through and swallowed up by Tucker Forrest. 14 seconds elapsed on the penalty kill for the Hokies.
Going back to that almost goal, it seems like everyone in the entire arena jumped up and then sighed and groaned for the fact that that didn't go in. Forrest has been making some really solid saves. It seems like he's in the position ready wherever they shoot from.
Ma swings it across, but across the blue line as well, as UNC will have to retreat and recover. He's got Camboge with him. Ma up the right side, passes off. Now it's Smith in the near side corner. Works around the net. And in front, a nasty move there, and a great save by Tucker Forrest. Was able to handle a couple of rebounds there. Kauber tried to knock it through, but Forrest just gets the leg on top.
Yeah, that's a wonderful save by Forrest there. Similarly to me, whenever I'm saving podcasts to wherever I want to watch it, onto YouTube, my favorite one is, of course, the Gobbler Effect. Make sure that you sit down and you tune in every week on the Virginia Tech Hockey Network. Sit down with Chris Pierce and head coach Joey Mullen to chat all things hockey and Hokie hockey, along with special guests each week. Catch it all on the Gobbler Effect on the VTHN YouTube channel.
1 minute left on the power play, and I gotta say, I do love giving the Gobbler Effect a listen.
Oh, it's perfect. Between when I'm walking between classes, especially if I have two classes back to back, it gets me going, gets me walking. It's also great to hear just before I come to one of the games on the weekend what coach is looking at.
UNC, last quarter of the power play. Gavin now right in front of both benches. Just knocks it back to kill off a few more seconds. We've got 25 left for Marshall Campbell in the box. 1 goal for the Hokies for Campbell here tonight, his first of the season. Zajic across to Gingras. He's got Grady to his back, working into the slot. Decides to send it around the boards instead. It's over to Hu. And that one ripped wide right. back in the corner, and out comes Campbell. Back to 5-on-5 hockey here with just under 5:30 left to play. Gingras drops it around the boards, and Grady was looking for it. Now poked away by Gingras. A loose puck there and not able to convert. A solid opportunity there for Grady, but just couldn't handle it on the stick. Mansauer is back for the Tar Heels. Up to Zajic, and they kick it over. Now Pye with two defenders in the way. Now he's got Sangster with him, but knocked away by Tyler Gordon. DeVivo back to Gordon. Valent to his left, shoots off the glass, and Kellogg looks to recover. It's cleared out and away to Cray. To Field. Far side now back to Cray here with 4:30 remaining. Still 2-2. DeVivo looks for the pass and knocked away. He had men in front of the net. It was D'Antona. Some freshman magic, and there it is.
DeVivo getting on the board now. It's about time. Wonderful shot on goal. There's the rebound kind of going in, allowing a great goal there. I believe they're sending...
That's to Cray into the box here with 4:16 as the Hokies take the 3-2 lead. It'll be 2 or 3 Virginia Tech freshmen, I believe, with their first points of the season.
Oh yeah, that goal was, don't want to say it was straight money, but it definitely was, which is something that Virginia Tech Hockey Network would love if you would sponsor us. You can, of course, message us if you would like to have that opportunity at the Virginia Tech Hockey Network Instagram, or if you find one of us at Lancerlot, one of the off-ice team, you can always talk to us and we'll see if we can't work something out.
Hokies with the 3-2 lead. A big one for the freshman. D'Antona with his first goal and first point of the season.
He was one of those players that coach was talking about. Once they start going, they will not stop.
And then a pair of apples for Valent and DeVivo, their first points of the season as well. Coach Mullen said before the game, just got to get those guys going. Once they get those first points on the board, he thinks they'll just keep coming for the freshmen. So to Cray's in the box, the Hokies on the PK as UNC looks to tie this up late in the second period.
Yeah, he's in the box for a cross check. Can't take the stick and fully extend your arms in a push.
Peduzzi, one defender in the way. Looks for the pass to Garlock. Nearly lands the pass, but knocked into the corner. Just too many blue jerseys there defending. Kauber with a 1-on-2. Loses it out, and that one's cleared by Virginia Tech. Now just 40 seconds remaining for Tecray in the box.
Both teams stayed a little bit out of the penalty box in the first period, but it seems like the Hokies have made a little bit of a home there as we've gotten deeper into this second period.
Well, until the end of the first period, that is.
That is true, yeah.
A lot of action right there in the last 30 seconds as UNC's pushing up in the final 10 of the power play. Far side, it's Ma. 5 more for Tecray. Got a couple tied up in the far corner. Ma settles in, rips, deflected by Tulo. And back to full strength for Virginia Tech. They kick it up and across, and they'll switch out a few legs. Hearn and Tecray off for the Hokies. Knocked up to Gringus. Into the zone, dances around, and gets knocked into the corner. Looking for his teammate, but Lagas bats it away, and now Tulo nearly gets it out. Who keeps it in. Gingras, he's got one in front of the net and couldn't land the pass to Grady. Just got it to the wrong side. As Gingras now battling with Lagas. Tied up and bats it off the boards. As Moore sends it around, Zajic just kept it in at the blue line. Lagas in the corner with Grady.
Some dangerous positioning by the Hokies there. Almost gave up a 2-on-1 opportunity there.
Poked away by Andrew. Too low. Looks to dump it up and across. Just got far enough to avoid the icing as UNC working up with numbers with about a minute left to play.
And it'll be offsides on UNC.
59.4 on the clock. This is about where we saw things get heated back in the first. The Hokies with the 1-goal lead this time. Face-off for Zitkowski and Peduzzi. And Peduzzi takes it across. He's got Garlock to his left. Leaves it up around the boards and tried to bounce it around the net. Just caught up on the backside. Peduzzi with 2 on him. Kauber now in the far corner. Poked away Garlock looking for it and back out to Peduzzi. Kellogg just lost it across the boards, and I believe it's an offsides for the Hokies. It just got across the blue line when Kellogg sent it around, and Virginia Tech went over into the near side corner to try and recover that puck.
Yeah, sometimes it's a little tough when you're trying to play the puck and you think, okay, well, maybe one of them played it, and they didn't, so you actually do get an offsides play there.
Hernan Zitkowski in the neutral zone and out to UNC. They kick it up, just gets around Lanigan. They've got a chance now with Will Smith. Had a couple in front of the net and tied up into the boards. It's Sullivan back behind the goal. A lot of commotion, a tough one for Tucker Forrest as that one can't quite find home. Lanigan chips it up as time expires. The Hokies put one up to get the 1-goal lead. It's 3-2 Virginia Tech as they host UNC in Game 2 of this weekend series. Join us in a few minutes for the third period. Sure to be a good one. It was last night as we went into overtime. Ethan Garlock with the game-winning goal. So join us back here on the Virginia Tech Hockey Network for some third period hockey. Welcome back to the Virginia Tech Hockey Network. Third period of play here between the Hokies and the Tar Heels. It's 3-2. Hokies lead after the trio of freshmen put in the leading goal. It was D'Antona with the finish, DeVivo and Valent with the 2 assists. A big one to get the 3 freshmen moving. That's been a big point for Coach Mullen to start the season. He's swapped around lines a lot to try and get the young guys on the board, because he's been saying once they're on the board, he thinks it's just going to go smooth sailing from there, but you got to get him the first one, and it came here tonight.
Yeah, Coach has talked a lot about the rookies on the team, how excited he is to see them kind of grow into the spots that they're willing to play for. They obviously are playing well enough to be starting in some places. I mean, again, McLeod, freshman defender, playing phenomenally as a first-line defender for tonight.
And McLeod had that big save last night as well, where Key got off to the far side. The puck just scraped across while Key was down for it, and McLeod kind of dove in and saved that one, just swiped it away himself, which potentially saved the game.
Oh, 100%. We were talking to Key before this game, and he was saying, you know, I do appreciate it a lot. Sometimes as a goalie, you know that you have that save, but sometimes it bounces off in the wrong way, and you're not able to get it.
Peduzzi and Zakowski on the faceoff. The Hokies come up with it as Lanigan dumps it down and around. Gavin now looking for the recovery as this one's chipped up and across. Sullivan back and gets the icing, so we'll take it right back the other way. 15 seconds through the third period.
Game has had a lot of icing in it, which is kind of expected in a hockey game, and they're playing on ice, but it has to go up and down, and sometimes it does get dumped down whenever you're in a rough situation there.
Once again, knocked back almost all the way the other way as Lanigan recovers. Pass off the boards to himself, skips it up to Now and across for Sullivan.
That was a pretty pass to himself. I might be a little biased, but that was good.
It's almost like a dribble off the boards. As now the Tar Heels look to push up. Smith crossed it to Zakowski. And McLeod up behind the net, just lost it to Kauber briefly, who scored both goals tonight for UNC, both assisted by Patrick O'Shaughnessy, who had a game misconduct at the end of the first period and will not be returning to the game.
I believe Zakowski retook his position in the first line in place of O'Shaughnessy. So the movement happened, and then they kind of moved back after that penalty.
Pass to Gingras, and that one's deflected by Tucker Forrest into the netting. We'll get a whistle here at 18:41.
Always love the bully offs up in the top left corner. Those face-off plays, sometimes they get you a goal if it's won cleanly, and sometimes it's not, as the ref kind of pushes that top left side a little further out.
And that one skipped through. Hernal bounced it around the boards over to Tulo. Looks to clear, kept in by Ma. Still battling with Tulo, and now back into the corner. Lagas will join into the mix. Hearn now with the puck, knocked away by Ma, recovers. Up to Tulo into the neutral zone. Andreev pressured by Ewan Andrew momentarily, and now behind UNC's net. Zajic holds off momentarily. Hearn looks for the pass.
Good block there by Andrew.
Had a nice steal as well, but couldn't handle it long enough to land the pass. Lagas recovers and knocks it away from Ma.
Gets caught up a little bit in his equipment, as there was a high stick that I don't think the refs saw. He got caught up a little bit in the neck. Lagas going to the bench.
And an icing for the Tar Heels. Once again, we'll bring it back to the left side for a face-off. 17:34 remaining here in the third. Virginia Tech still holding on to the 1-goal lead thanks to Justin D'Antona.
Good, like you said at the very beginning of the period, it's good to see these freshmen getting those plays, getting those reps in as well. And you already are seeing a lot of them kind of coming together, being really good teammates, and the communication is incredible.
Behind the net, DeVivo battling with Zajic. And Stewart back behind, fakes one way, goes towards the other. Looking for a pass, gets it up to Tecray, hesitates for a moment, knocked away by Grady. That one ripped off the backboard. 17 minutes remaining in the third, and this is knocked away by UNC. Forrest just swipes at it momentarily, and icing for the Tar Heels, and once again we'll bring it back the other way.
Coach definitely smiling a little bit after Forrest swipes a little bit at it. He was just making sure that if it did go closer to the net, that he would pass it down, but he knew that it was just about to pass the goal line for icing.
Valent and Gringus on the face-off here on the near side. Knocked away to D'Antona. Threads between the legs. Valent with the backhand, just wide. Looks for Lanigan up at the point. Feeds it down low. Nearly a deflection by Marshall Campbell, but got too much boot on it. Gingras dancing through. Campbell to D'Antona. Look for the feed up to Campbell once again, but defenders in the way, and that's another icing for UNC.
There's also another penalty being called on UNC, I believe. I don't know if it's going to be a penalty where someone goes to the box, but I think there might have been too many men on the ice or something along that way, as I saw one of the refs having his hand up in the air, signaling something was off.
Face off in the near circle. Valent and Gingras once again. That one ripped by D'Antona. Out to the left as UNC knocks it back the other way, and once again an icing for the Tar Heels.
Both teams playing really well. The Hokies playing a lot more in the offensive zone than UNC seems to be. The Hokies have controlled a lot more of this game. It's been very nice to see that shift. And sometimes it seems like both teams are kind of going back and forth, especially last night in the UNC game. Both teams are kind of going back and forth, getting different looks. The Hokies have kind of secured a little bit more of the playing here.
Third time through on the face-off. Valent and Gingras back to back to back as UNC finally gets it out to the neutral zone without the icing. Valent at center ice, battling with a few Tar Heels. Daniel Hugh, one of them. Pass went awry to D'Antona and recovered by Cambodge. Pass looking up for Glonick. Knocked away and kicked up. Glonick after it in the near corner. Defended by Lagas, pushed him away. Now Lanigan comes up with the puck. Settles in for a moment. D'Antona hustling across for it. Caught up at the goal line momentarily. It's Campbell. Feeds it into the center. Couldn't land the pass to Peduzzi here with 15:30 as the Tar Heels push up through the neutral zone. And an offsides there as Sangster just hopped across a bit too quick. Couldn't quite reach back that back skate in time.
Yeah, UNC's got to clean up a little bit of these unnecessary penalties that are coming here. The small moments where they're passing it too far down and no one's there to recover it. The moments like that where you have offsides. It's simple mistakes like that that can really kind of slow your game down.
It's helped the Hokies keep the puck in the offensive end for a good portion of this third period as UNC has mostly cleared it with icings so far and it's just brought it right back for a face-off. Gavin now dances through, but too many defenders as he's tripped up on the way by. Now back into the corner. He had Zakowski against the wall momentarily, kicks it up to center ice and dumped right back in by Moore. Kept in by Lagas into the far side corner. Ethan Garlock tipped it up for a brief second, and UNC now able to take it across. A tough one there. Zukowski tried to chip it up off the boards and just knocked it out of play.
Again, the small things. Sometimes, I mean, that's a routine play on the other side of the ice where you're playing up against the penalty boxes, but with those open benches, it does slow you down sometimes, and you have to think a little bit harder about where you're tipping it down.
Tekray fields the face-off at center ice and now dumped behind on Dreve, the goaltender. Knocks it up the boards for a teammate. UNC not called for the icing there as Tekray sends it up to the neutral zone. Ma looking across and deflected away back towards Zajic.
Big hit, and that will be, I believe, a hit to the head. Probably a minor. Might be, oh, actually, I believe we're getting an elbowing call. Very interesting thing. I think he just had that elbow a little too high. Yeah, looks like it's going to be an elbowing. Very rare penalty, as most of the times players have their elbows, their arms down further towards the ground because they're playing with that stick, but sometimes when you get into a little bit of a scuffle on the boards, sometimes that elbow can get a little high and clip someone in the face.
Bishop into the box. That gives us a Hokies power play. Just kept in for a moment, but now a potential shorthanded opportunity. Now hustling back and just tripped up. Swiped at it to defend against Matthew Grady, and now they've got now for a penalty as well. That'll bring us to 4-on-4 hockey.
And I don't want to say that I disagree with the refs here, but I disagree with the refs here a little bit. I think they're calling him for slashing or tripping, which is interesting because I think all that happened was a little bit of a stick lift. But they're closer to the ice, closer to the players. They probably saw something that's a little harder to see from this far up.
You were talking about some costly, simple mistakes for UNC to start off this third period, and now one and really two for the Hokies right there. They gave up that nice shorthanded opportunity for UNC, and then now they even it up at 4-on-4 with now's penalty.
Yeah, about 10 seconds differential between the Hokies penalty and the UNC penalty.
Peduzzi dumped it around for Garlock, battling with Gingras and Cambodge. As now Lagas recovers, hesitates, takes it across. The second Garlock gets back on sides. Peduzzi tripped up right there, but I don't see any hands up, so we'll keep things moving. Out to center ice, Mansauer. A bit of a rumble there with Lagas, and a nice hit from Teo Lanigan. That one chipped up into the net, and another whistle here with 12:50 remaining.
Yeah, it seems like the puck went all the way out, so the ref will grab a new one, and they'll get set for another face-off in the defensive zone for the Hokies. Small penalties keep adding up. Let's see what happens on the 4-on-4. 4-on-4 is still fun hockey. It's still relatively even. Depends on who has the faster forecheck.
Andreev knocked it away with the stick into the near side corner. Now Campbell fighting for it. Lanigan dumped it in right there, but once again saved by Andreev. There's 45 seconds remaining for Bishop and 35 for now. Lagas around his own goal. He's got Tyler Gordon off to his left, takes it through himself, bumped around a little bit by Will Hilton. Up at the point, Tulo ripped it, recovered, sent it back down to Gordon as this one's lifted up out of play.
Good opportunity there. A lot of misdirections happening. A couple of times the puck gets a little bounced off of a couple of sticks there towards the, closer to the blue line. Hokies still able to recover there and get it down towards the goal, but then just gets lifted up off a stick and into the netting.
We're nearly back to full strength for both sides. It's 5 seconds for Bishop and 15 for now as the Hokies battle in the offensive zone. Hearn reaching around for it, just pokes it away for a moment. UNC back to full strength now at the gate. Knocked away, but the Hokies are in the way. Sangster looks for the feed in the crease, and Tucker Forrest just got on top of it. A fantastic save from the sophomore. There was a lot of commotion in front of the net, but just able to save the shot from Glonick.
Yeah, he's able to just lie down on top of the puck, and knowing where it is was very important for him there. Tough goal to stop, but he was able to get away with it.
Sangster and Hearn in the far circle. Tar Heels end up with possession. They dump it into the near corner for Glonick. Now down below the goal line to Sangster, pinned up against the boards by McLeod. Hearn and Glonick have mixed in as well, and McLeod comes up with it. Looking to get past that goal line. Now he's got Hearn. Pass off the boards, looking for Tulo. Ma recovers, and Glonick looks to take it across, just knocked away there by Max Sullivan. Now below the goal line for the Hokies. Dancing around, it's now. Up to Kellogg, that one blocked away by Sangster. Now nearly with the right side opportunity, dumps it back below the goal line and recovered by the Tar Heels.
A little bit more back and forth, less control from each team as we come out of those two penalties. Hokies still have it in the UNC zone as they cleared off to neutral ice.
UNC with 4 Hokies in the way. Gingras bats it around the boards.
A little bit of a mistimed line change there as a lot of UNC comes off to the bench and only leaving 2 down deep with 4 Hokies, like you said.
The Tar Heels nearly dribbled one in. Tucker Forrest was defending the near side of the net, was looking for the pass and just bounced around, barely saved it with his right leg. Now it's Zach Stewart up. He's got DeVivo to his side and Drew Tacray as well. Takes it around the net. Defended well by Cambodge and poked away. Now Tar Heels with possession. We're halfway through the third.
Big hit on Grady, I believe.
Cambodge spins around, defended by Tyler Gordon. Now DeVivo in the way. Slapping at it, Cambodge rips one off the right side and saved by Cowber. Lagas up to DeVivo. Hokies with 1 extra as DeVivo goes up the left side, leaves it for Gordon and straight to the glove of Andreev. A nice save from the Tar Heels goaltender.
Andreev just flashing the leather there, able to quickly catch it and secure it. That was a really good save by him. A little bit of a lob of a shot, but still, those sometimes can have a weird direction to them because the puck is spinning in such a weird way.
About 9 minutes remaining in the third. Hokies holding on to the 1-goal lead. As Sullivan recovers, chips it up. Smith knocked it down, got some hops there at the blue line as there's a battle to clear it. The Hokies do. Zukowski back, feeds it up to Cowber. And Forrest will knock it away for Lanigan. Up to D'Antona. He's got Smith in the way, tries to dance around, but poked away. Glonick bats it around the boards, and that's an offsides for the Tar Heels, I believe. Really tough call for them.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. They still had a man in the defensive Hokies end. So because of that, even though thought that he was clear, wasn't able to get it across in time as the UNC player was trying to get off.
Sangster and Valent in the neutral zone face-off. We'll pause for a moment. More and Pye were getting into it on the far side. Excuse me, that's Marshall Campbell. And now we'll kick both out and swap things up. It's Glonick and Campbell now.
Sometimes the refs have to do that. They see two players being a little chippy and they have to change some things up. That's a big hit near center ice.
Campbell took out Zajic, and now UNC defending. They're pushing the pace. There's two in the way. McLeod, and a great save by Tucker Forrest. Once again, just pops that glove up.
That was a fast shot from Zajic. Straight in to position where Forrest could, again, use his glove, get the puck. It's a good shot by UNC and a good save by the Hokies.
Peduzzi and Gingras on the face-off, now near side corner. Gingras and Kellogg, commotion in front of the net, loose puck. Tucker Forrest went for it and knocked away to the far side. Hokies able to give him some breathing room now. Peduzzi chipped it up. Garlock has to hesitate. Ewan Andrew went across just a bit too far as now Kellogg recovers for the Hokies.
Yeah, the Hokies need to get it out of the defensive zone. Give Tucker a little bit of a break to recover from that. That was a tough save by him. A lot of bodies in front of the net, a lot of moving parts to that save.
It's McLeod back for the Hokies, defended by Gingras. He dumps it across the side to Kellogg. Chipped over to Ewan Andrew, who just got a piece of it. So UNC will have to retrieve it behind their own net. Now tried to knock it through. Now Andrew defending against Cambodge. It's poked away. Peduzzi will chip it up. And they say that one's playable. Into the near corner. Now sent into the boards. And Andreev covers up the loose puck.
Smart to cover that up in that situation, as you had a line change from the Hokies. So a lot more energized Hokies are coming off of that play, and they'd be ready to kind of pass it around and get a little bit more of a shooting opportunity there. So a good way to settle it down, get everyone ready for some things, as Forrest actually tosses some padding. Tells his coach that, you know what, I'm doing fine without it. I can take a few hits from the vulcanized rubber that is a hockey puck.
Not sure I've ever seen a goalie take off padding before. But a face-off in the near circle. UNC comes up with it. Kauber looks across for Smith. It's knocked away by Lagas. He's got two in the way. Dancing up the right side and knocked way around. Zukowski looking for the feed, and Lagas will take that one away. Chips it up to Now. Takes it into the zone and just cleared by Zukowski. Off the far boards for nobody as Hearn knocks it away, and now Smith takes it through. Lagas in the way to Cray. Able to defend the pass. Smith kept it in, and now back to the neutral zone. Now nearly had the breakaway. Now takes it across. It's a 2-on-1 for the Hokies. Now took it himself and off the blockers of Andreev. Into the neutral zone. Hilton will dump it to the far side. Lanigan retrieves for the Hokies.
UNC has played really well with their checks, lifting sticks here, lifting sticks there, where it's really important for them to do so. They're also playing the puck with their feet, which is always very interesting. You always see hockey players in between warm-ups and practice before games like to play a lot of soccer.
Far side, Forrest swings the other way and kept in by the Tar Heels. Ma chipped up across. Ma to recover. He's defended by Tyler Gordon. Gingras off the boards and back. Moore retrieves for the Hokies. He was defended by Grady, as looking up for Gordon. few Tar Heels in the way. It's just knocked back into the neutral zone. The Tar Heels dump it in. They'll have to get back on sides. Now Gingras looking up for it. DeVivo along the boards. Gives it up to Moore and over to Valent. Now into the neutral zone. Gingras lost it momentarily. Valent took it across, tried to get to the right side, but a great stick by the Tar Heels, and once again poked away. Valent looking to work up the right side. He faked left. Cleared by Tech. Pies got it in the neutral zone, swings it around the boards. Sangster looking for it along with Glonick. It ends up on the stick of Lagas. Chips it off the boards to himself, knocked down. Valent recovers.
I haven't seen a lot of really long battles in the boards like we saw last night. Both teams kind of able to get it out a lot quicker, either using their feet or able to scoop it out with a stick.
3:45 remaining in the third period. UNC looking to tie this game up. It's 3-2 Hokies with the lead. Far side of the boards, Moore got caught up a little bit with Kauber. And now it's poked away, just kept in, and then knocked away by Campbell. Chipped off the boards, knocked around. Campbell knocks it down with the stick, and a few fresh legs for the Hokies. Couple of long shifts over the last few minutes as Peduzzi dumps it across. The Hokies with numbers as Garlock dances through, and they called him offsides.
That was such a close call. That's a hard one to get right in a lot of positions. The refs are really, they're looking for every little thing that is possible there. Speaking of which, Tucker seemed to have extra padding. Well, if you have a little bit of some extra stuff and you would like to sponsor the Virginia Tech Hockey Network, we'd love to have your support. You can always send us a message on Instagram at Virginia Tech Hockey Network, or, of course, if you find one of us around the ice at Lancerlot Sports Complex, give us a holler, chat us up, and we will let you know what you can do for us. We appreciate everything you do.
Kellogg, Peduzzi, Zakowski, Kauber, all tied up along the boards now, knocked away to the far side. Kellogg chips it up and kept in by Smith. Now it's Zakowski. Knocked away by Tucker Forrest, and the Hokies with a 2-on-2 opportunity. It's quickly spoiled by Hilton. Ewan Andrew tied up with Kauber. Now Peduzzi with the puck, knocks it around the boards. Just about 2 minutes left to play here in the third period. Virginia Tech with the 1-goal lead. Peduzzi keeps it in, chips one through, knocked away by Andreev. Andrews got it in the corner and up to the blue line, kept in by Lanigan. Battling with Smith. Cleared out, and he'll dump it through. The Hokies need to get back on sides, and they bring out some fresh legs.
Much needed line change for them as they were on offense and they were really getting a lot of opportunities there from the Hokies, but sometimes it does still tire you out. Even if you're on defense for a while, you're on offense for a while, it's always a little hard.
Batted around the boards by Sullivan. And it just hesitates at the goal line. UNC back to retrieve. It's Hearn defending at the goal line. Now up to now. Virginia Tech just wasting a few more minutes. There's just about one left to go here in the third as that's chipped up and around the boards. McLeod retrieves, bats it over to Now. Into the neutral zone. Now dancing, looks up for Tulo. And Tulo dumps it in on the empty net. It's 4-2 Hokies.
And that is probably going to seal it. I don't want to say definitely going to seal it because that always brings up the broadcast curse, but this game is most likely done for UNC. The Hokies having a great opportunity there. Andreev trying to get off the ice as quick as possible, and unfortunately I don't think they got that sixth person on the ice as fast as they wanted to help in the defense.
Virginia Tech now with the 2-goal lead. Matt Tulo does the job for Virginia Tech, his second goal of the season on the empty net. Bishop chipped it over and in. Andreev is back in the net for the Tar Heels.
Strong playing here as the Hokies try and just stall as much as possible. About 20 seconds left on the clock. UNC looks for another opportunity.
Bishop bats one away, and now we're under 15. Virginia Tech just needs to kill off a few more seconds as D'Antona knocks it up. Got some chance in the crowd as the Hokies take both games of the weekend series against UNC. It was an overtime win last night. Ethan Garlock knocking it past Lucas Brown for the W, and now tonight, Matt Tulo gets it done for the Hokies on the empty net goal to raise it up to 4-2, and Virginia Tech finishes out the job with just about a minute left to play. The Hokies on a 2-game win streak, their first of the season. They haven't won back-to-back quite yet after the shootout loss to Liberty on the road, and then the loss to NC State just the other weekend. But now Virginia Tech improves to 4-1-1 this season, while the Tar Heels dropped to 2-4-1. Just a tough one for the Tar Heels, a brutal series against the Hokies. I mean, they played really well through a lot of it, I thought, and had some great opportunities, especially last night where they were able to push the game into overtime. But tonight, Virginia Tech just had the answer the second UNC put one through.
Yeah, they had a really defensive-heavy team. They played really strongly in all categories, but UNC not able to protect as much as Virginia Tech was able to. Tucker Forrest, of course, playing a phenomenal game in net. Key as well doing the same. UNC has a couple of things to look at, but I think they're obviously going into the night and into the rest of their season with a little bit of a head on their shoulders. I think they know what they need to change, but they had a fairly good run at the Hokies. The Hokies, of course, now that they are 2 up in a winning streak, we'll see if they can keep going.
They'll look to keep that moving next weekend at West Virginia, while UNC will try to right the ship now on a 6-game losing streak. But that's all for tonight here at the Lancerlot Sports Complex. Your final score, Hokies 4, Tar Heels 2. Good night.